Falling in love with you. What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video, and it finally happened. After 4 years of waiting, I finally got to see The Conjuring 4. That's right, guys, I went to see The Conjuring 4 the other day, and I just wanted to talk about it a little bit and give like a movie review on what I thought of it. There probably will be spoilers here, so if you don't like spoilers, then you should probably get out of here. Also, what do you think of my Annabelle hoodie? I've got like so many Annabelle hoodies, it's actually insane. But anyway, I went to see The Conjuring 4, and honestly, there's some things that, like, I'm gonna be critical here. You might hate me for this. I will say it wasn't my favorite movie out of all of them. I feel like as the Conjuring universe got older and older and things changed, I mean, it's going on, like, it's over a decade-long franchise now. Like, it's been going for, like, 12 years since the first Conjuring came out back in 2013. And so, of course, things change. They're not going to keep it exactly the same. And The Devil Made Me Do It. That was probably my least favorite one out of all of them. But I still enjoyed it, and I still liked that they talked about certain things. And it's more like a piece to the puzzle that was necessary. I didn't really like with The Devil Made Me Do It. I didn't really like how it dragged on as long as it did. I feel like it did not need to be that long. But I really liked the way they talked about things like the Disciples of the Ram, and they referenced these things that kind of connect back to the earlier movies. And that's one of the things I loved about this movie, especially the end scene. Oh my god, the end scene. Oh my god. Okay, I warned you guys there's going to be spoilers. I've been dying to talk to people about this, and everybody hasn't seen it yet. I really like how they ended this movie. I thought it was a beautiful way to end the Conjuring universe. However, there is one thing I would have done differently, and it probably would have cost a whole lot more money, and they would have had to get a whole lot of more people involved. But I was thinking, and I think they were onto something here, the way they did it already. I thought it was beautiful, the way... Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Should I say it? Okay, guys, I'm warning you. Like, I've told you this is the third time now. If you haven't seen it, please go away, because I'm about to spill guts. I'm about to unleash everything, and I can't contain it anymore. I love that at the end of this movie, Judy, their daughter, gets married. And I like how they brought Tony into it as well, because Tony for a long time was in charge of like taking care of the museum and everything in real life. So I really like that they showed how Judy met him. I thought that was really sweet. But I will say this first. Let me just get to the part that I feel like people are not going to be too happy with, but probably will agree with me. It wasn't the scariest movie. It was, like I said, kind of similar to the third one, The Devil Made Me Do It, in terms of, like, the characters were not that, like, relatable. Like, honestly, I can't really even remember any of the family's names. I know it was the Smurl family, but I don't really remember any of their names, which is weird because, like, in the other films, you kind of connect with them and you know their names and stuff. But the last two movies, I didn't really feel like a connection with the actual family itself. I feel like it lacked that thing that makes you connect with them. But I still enjoyed that they had, like, Annabelle appeared in it. They also had little things that were, like, similar to the other movies. There was one scene when, like I said, spoiler alert, when she's trying on a wedding dress, she's doing, like, a wedding dress fitting, and she's in this mirror room, and the woman who is fitting her dress leaves her in there for a minute, and she's kind of looking at the dress, and it's a big, like, frilly dress, like a princess dress. It's really big, and she sees like something coming up from underneath it, and it's kind of like, reminds me of the scene which is in Annabelle Creation when Janice is in the bedroom and like the sheet thing, like the Annabelle under the sheet, and it's approaching her, and then it falls down, there's nothing there. And it's happened again in one of the other movies, but I can't remember exactly which one. But there's like little things like that that I was picking up on that are similar and have happened in the other one. The other thing is, like, whenever there's a demon approaching and it's coming, it's just like everything goes black. It's like this shadow starts to swallow the hallway. And they've done that in all of these movies up to now. And even like the way the demon comes out of one person and goes into the other, it's usually like this black inky stuff comes out of the mouth. Things like that, just like those little things are things that I really appreciated that they've kept consistent in all of the movies. Anyway, let's get back to the ending. Oh my god, so my ending was probably the favorite part of the movie, and I usually say that sarcastically when I don't like a movie. I'm like, you know what my favorite part was? When it finished. But this time I'm serious, like the ending was so good. I just think it could have been better, and I say that with these, like, maybe I'm reaching here, maybe I'm being like, I'm dreaming too big for this one, but I've connected with all of the families that have been in these movies, And I know it wouldn't have probably been like true story. This is just a fan fiction idea that I've got. It wouldn't have made sense to the timeline or anything like that. I was thinking about it and I was like, I really liked how they had like the camera was like panning the audience at the wedding, and you could see like the Hodgson family from the second Conjuring movie was there. You could see that the Perrin family from the first Conjuring movie were there, and like the guys who helped Ed and Lorraine, like the camera guy and like the other guy who was the police officer in the first movie. And like you start to see all of these familiar faces, and they've all come to Judy's wedding, and it's such a beautiful moment to see all of these families like that we've seen in all the different movies. We see them all together at this moment. There is also a little theory that Valak was there too. I don't know for sure. I haven't like double checked. But there is like a clip where you see what looks like Bonnie Aarons, who plays the nun, walking past. I don't know for sure if that's true or not, but that would be pretty cool if Valak turned up to the wedding. But here's where I just had this like crazy big dream. I was like, you know what would have been even better? And it might not have been accurate to what really happened, and it would have completely disregarded everything that's happened, the timeline and everything like that. But I just think it would have had that Titanic kind of ending of the Conjuring universe. If, like, remember at the end of Titanic when everyone's dead, everyone's died in like their own ways, and then when Rose supposedly dies at the end of the movie, she kind of goes down under the ocean and she goes back to the Titanic. The ship comes back to life. She walks in the hall, and there's everybody waiting for her. They're all together again. Like, no matter how they died, no matter what happened, they're all together, and then everyone claps. And that was such a beautiful ending to the movie Titanic. And I feel like that kind of thing could have happened here. And I feel like that's kind of like what did happen. But I just think instead of just having the families from the other Conjuring movies, imagine having like every cast member or like all of the main characters from all of the Conjuring movies and the Annabelle movies and the Nun movies, and just having them all there, whether they died or whether they survived. Just completely forget about all of that and just have them all there for the wedding. That would have just been such a beautiful ending to me. I know it wouldn't have probably worked and people would have been like, but how is that possible? That, you know, this part of Annabelle happened 20 years before Judy got married, and like she died or he died, you know, that kind of thing. Like it wouldn't have made sense. But I just think, you know, just for a little fun, just to end the franchise, because we all built these connections with all of these characters in all of the different movies. And it would have just been such a beautiful way to end it, to see Judy getting married, Ed and Lorraine Warren at the wedding, of course, they were her parents, but also seeing like every one of the characters. Like I was picturing it like Mr. and Mrs. Mullins from the first Annabelle, like Annabelle creation, and picturing them together and they're happy again, and like they're with their daughter B, who got hit by the car, like, and it's kind of like this heaven like view of everyone together, like everybody's smiling, everyone's together again, everyone's happy, you know what I mean? Nobody was taken away, and in the end, I guess you could make it seem like the demon didn't win. After all that we've all been through together watching these movies, the demon didn't win, because here they are all together and all happy. That's just what my mind went to. I was like, there's a little missed opportunity there to have done like a Titanic ending where all of them are together again in the one room. That would have been beautiful, but I respect that they probably did it just with the Conjuring families because they were the ones that like made sense to the timeline. But yeah, other than that, I really liked the movie.